Yo, what's up? My name is Walt Anderson, and you're now tuned in to Danaya Azure Radio.
Awesome. Welcome, Walt. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I am great. So, you guys, the power of technology is amazing. I actually met Walt at Malik Youssef's birthday party
Already.
virtually because
Right.
we had kids during the party. And he's like, you got to meet my boy Walt. He's doing some awesome things. So I'm like, okay, cool. I look it up and I'm like, wait, you're like the lead singer of Cool in the Game.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So, how did you originally get into music?
Originally, oh man, So as a lot of artists do, we started out in church. So I started out in church. My whole family's they're singers and musicians. Um, my grandmother is a musician. She's a piano player. My grandfather's a pastor. So my dad kind of took he was a pastor minister as well, and he started to play the piano at a church that we were attending as a family. So we all were in the choir singing, playing instruments. I played the drums while my dad played the piano, and so from there I started to just pick up different little techniques from different musicians who came through the church that were visiting. Um, and then eventually I moved on up to the piano when my dad had transferred to another church, and my pastor just let me kind of doodle and just be on the keyboard and just figure things out. I wasn't that great, but I just was figuring things out, and I started to pick up different songs by ear and on the radio. And as the musicians would come, I would still get pointers and tips from them. And eventually, I was playing for like one of the largest churches in our city, um, to being, one of the most sought out musicians in my city after that, after a while. So I kind of just picked it up, just by other musicians that are way better than me. I think.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
So, what was one of the main things that your dad taught you as a musician?
Wow, as a musician, um, you know, yeah, he taught me how to, I guess, be consistent, and he was always practicing and always practicing his craft, and I would notice that. And like I said, he was a minister too, so it was more than just music. It was just seeing him study and study, you know, the Bible and study the Word and come up with his sermons. And he was very like creative in how he would put his sermons together and things like that. So whatever he put his set his mind to, or whatever he set his mind to do, he always took it very seriously, and always put 100% um, into it. And it was very dedicated, and always practice. So that's one thing that I really learned, is just to kind of stay focused and stay practicing and stay nurturing and building and perfecting your craft. So that's one of the biggest lessons I learned from him.
Awesome. And Walt Anderson, lead singer of Cool in the Gang, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. What would you say has been one of your biggest obstacles when it comes to doing music?
Wow, one of the biggest obstacles. I would say, so I'm a creative person, and and as a lot of creatives I feel have this problem trying to find who you are, like, because I create, like, and it doesn't just mean music. Like, I create a lot of things. I like building things. I like art. I like music, obviously. So I like just putting together something from scratch, no matter what it is. Like, and as far as musically, that was one of the biggest challenges for me. I would say is just like trying to find your own voice, like who you are as an artist, because and a writer, because I'm mainly a writer, I would say, than a performer. Well, maybe I think writing is my biggest passion. So um, when you're writing songs, you're not always writing for yourself. I write female songs, I write male songs, I write country songs, I write R&B, pop, like. So trying to figure out, okay, I'm writing all these songs, but then now it's time for me. Now it's time to write something for me, or pick out some songs that I feel like I want to sing or I want to perform, it's hard to really kind of do that. I feel like it's, finding your own way, finding out who you are as an artist and what you're going to present to the world as yourself. And that was kind of a struggle for me for a while to figure that out. And I finally realized, man, just being authentic and being yourself and telling your own story is really where it starts. And you can begin to, create an audience from that.
So, what is your favorite genre to write music for?
Wow. Favorite genre. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. That's a very hard one. I can't really say. But if I had to pick, probably would just be R&B. I'm just a true R&B fan. I just love R&B. I love how it touches the depths of your soul. Like that's it's soulful. It's soulful music, and um, I really love writing R&B music. Now I enjoy pop music. I enjoy writing country music too, because they all have their own particular styles and their own particular ways of delivering the message, which I really love. But I guess R&B is just my favorite. I would say if I had to pick.
It's interesting that you said R&B because now some people are still saying that R&B is dead.
Yeah,
So what do you have to say about that?
R&B will never die. I understand what they're trying to say. The old R&B, the R&B that it used to be, what R&B used to be is not here. And I think it'll swing back around. Like all things do, I believe they swing back around. But R&B's here. It's just different. It just sounds a little bit different than what people are used to. But you listen to all the songs you hear that are out there, even the rap songs that are doing like melodic um, things within their vocals, like it's still here. It's just here in a different way. And as far as what we're talking about, that's changed too a bit too. But there are still people that are talking about love and things that matter in relationship. But I don't think R&B ever went away. It's just that we're just not familiar with how it's changed, and we're not accepting of the change. And I'm always like, I've always been told, hey, just do what you do and find a way to fit in and adapt with the times. So I'm not hating on anything that's out there right now. I'm just trying to figure out a way to fit in and keep it moving with everybody else.
Absolutely. And Walt Anderson, lead singer of Kool and the Gang, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. Speaking of adapting to change, how in the world did you get connected to Kool and the Gang?
Yeah,
This is like this is an iconic group.
yeah.
Like were you around when they were popular? Because you seem pretty young. So how did
No.
this all happen?
Yeah, so they've been around since the '60s. I was born in '82, so no, I was not around. But so what they do is they had when I joined the band, they had four original members, and but throughout the years, they have they have a big show. So it's a big live show. It's horn players and guitar players, singers, keyboardists, drummers, percussionists. So they have a lot going on stage. So other than the four members that were originally still left when I joined, there was a bunch of other musicians that weren't from the original Kool and the Gang, obviously, and a few singers as well. The original singer hasn't been there since maybe I think the '90s, which is JT Taylor, who's singing all the songs that you guys know, Celebration, um, Cherish, and all that. So the way it happened for me, being one of those musicians, I was introduced to the group through a friend of mine, which we call each other brothers. It's my bro, Sky Dennis, and he happened to be kind of related to one of the Kool and the Gang managers. So he was at an event or at a reunion or something like that, and he had presented my CD and let them hear it, and they heard it, and the management at that point wanted to meet with me as far as managing me as an artist and songwriter. So I had nothing to do really with Kool and the Gang, but they just happened to manage Kool and the Gang too because they're all related. And at one of our meetings, dinner meetings, when we were talking about the artists thing and a writer thing. Um, they had mentioned before the meeting was over, hey, I'm gonna send you an email, and this is a song that Cool and the Gang's been working on. They don't have any lyrics to it. See what you can do to it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went home, put something to it, sang. I had a little studio at my home house, sang some stuff to it, wrote some stuff to it, sent it back, and they ended up sending me something else. You know, so I was like, oh, that's good. That sounds good. Here's another one. So they sent another one, and then after that one, I sent it back, and then I got a call from the management, and he said, "Hey, Ronald Khalis Bell wants to meet you," and he's the founder, one of the founders of Cool and the Gang, and the saxophonist. And I was like, okay. He's like, no, he really loves what you were doing to these tracks, and he really wants to meet with you. So I was like, all right, cool. So we went to Jersey and met with him at his house, and I was in awe. He had all the plaques and the Grammys and the Soul Train Awards, and showing me all of accomplishments. And we had some lunch, and then he sat me down and said, hey man, you know, we really love the stuff that you're doing. We love your writing style and your voice. And he said, I'm gonna lay it to you like this. We could use these songs. You can sell them to us. We're working on some music and we're trying to put something out. He said, or you can do these songs yourself and travel the world with us. He's like, take some time and think about it. So it didn't take me that long to think about it. I thought about it for a little bit, called him back, and was like, hey, I'm in. So from there, I performed all over the world, man, for maybe about the next 5 years. And they took me all around the world about 3 times. So they do 100 shows per year. In the U.S., out of the U.S., it's an awesome experience, and I got the opportunity to write one of their first singles that charted in over a decade, which was called "Sexy." Where'd you get yours? So that went to Billboard on number 15, R&B adult Billboard, and from there, last year, no, yeah, 2 years ago, they released a album that I'm writing. They released 10-song album that I'm writing and singing all 10 songs. So um, it's been a great experience. Now I haven't been traveling with them for the 100 shows per year, but every now and then I'll do a show with them here and there. Last thing we did was in London about a month and a half or two ago. So,
That's
but we still
amazing.
keep in touch. Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
So you've traveled all over the world. What has been your favorite country to visit so far?
Wow. I get this question a lot, and this is a hard one too. It's hard because when we travel, we don't always get to enjoy the places we travel to. So, like, for instance, like I might have been to Paris with them 5 times, but only really seen it once. So that was a good experience to see Paris, the Eiffel Tower and things. But I want to say the best experience I probably had was going to Africa, because I just never imagined myself being able to go to Africa, and especially going to Africa on the conditions that we went. We're Cool in the Gang, we're performing in front of tons of people that are excited for us to be there. So that was just a surreal moment for me. We did Mozambique, Kenya, and Uganda, and that was like, it was just amazing, because it was amazing to see your people, in a big crowd like that chanting for you from the motherland. Because believe it or not, most of the Cool in the Gang shows are predominantly um, white and Caucasian. They're not really a huge African American audience, because I guess I don't know why they made the music crossed over, and it just transcended through a lot of different audiences. But we there must have been a handful of shows where it was predominantly black that we went to. One of them was Africa, but the rest, man, the other cultures love Cool and the Gang's music, man. You'd be surprised what the crowds look like when you're out there.
That actually is very surprising. I was like, wait, what? You
Yeah,
think that they would
yeah,
be predominantly African American, but
yeah,
wow, okay.
yeah, yeah. Now they had um before they had a lead singer, they had a bunch of like instrumental hits, and chants, things like that. Like Jungle Boogie, and um, I might not be too good on my history with this, but like I don't know if it came out before JT Taylor or not, but like songs like Jungle Boogie, um, are more of a like a chant song, where they had I think they had more of their they that's where they built their black audience. And then when they got the singer, then they totally um, took it to the next level, and that's why they're traveling all over the world right now, over 100 shows per year. So they have such a mixed audience, and it's beautiful to see.
And I think what's so awesome about that is that a lot of people nowadays they're not focused on being timeless. This
Right,
group made it very clear when they
right,
started that they were going to be timeless.
yeah.
Because you hear their music in movies and
Oh
television
yeah,
and commercials.
yeah. Can't go anywhere like without hearing. I'm walking to the airport to the next show, and they're just playing
Mhm.
Celebration
Yeah,
or watching a movie or just everywhere. You just can't get away from it. And they're the most sampled band of all time. So
that part.
um, yeah, so I mean, I'm listening to music and songs that, man, that are their samples, and a lot of us don't even know it. I've got one. At first, I was like, wow, that's cool. And well, now I don't even say anything when I'm around peers and I hear a sample, because it's just so much, and I feel like I'm bragging at that point. So I just let it go. But I'm watching. I mean, anywhere I go, they're always playing somewhere, and it's amazing that they've been able to do that with their careers and be in this games for as long as they have been, over 50 years.
Absolutely. And Walt Anderson, lead singer of the Cool and the Gang, is my guest here on Danaya Azure Radio. Well, one thing that I can promise you for sure is when this interview drops, we will be giving flowers to you and Cool and the Gang. So you guys will be getting 2 hours of music in the morning, two
Oh,
hours
nice.
of music in the evening. That
Awesome, awesome. That's a great. It's awesome.
it's so great to be able to connect with you. We actually interviewed Robert Bell a few years ago.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
mhm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Charles
So that's
Charles Madison, the owner of the
that
station.
Robert Bell, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's actually cool. The namesake. Yep.
yeah. So yes, yeah. So it's a blessing to be able to connect with you for sure. So how did you get connected to Malik Yousaf?
Oh, so um, years ago, I connected with a friend of mine named Jason, and he me and him were working on an artist, Korean artist named Seven. This was before like the whole Korean pop world became like big over here, and they were just trying to do it then. So I wrote like a bunch of songs for Seven, and then another group we were working on was called Big Bang, and they're both in Korea. They're big. They're both were big artists in their day in Korea, and that was maybe like going on 20 years ago, maybe 18 maybe plus years ago. So fast forward till now, I moved to California. That was in Pennsylvania, by the way, Philadelphia. Well, that's where I'm from. Coatesville, Westchester, PA, but near Philadelphia. So that's where I linked with Jason at. And then fast forward, we kind of just lost touch, but we would always remain friends. He moved to California, and I ended up moving to California and connected with him. And like I said, about 15 years ago, whatever. And so fast forward to now, he has a few restaurants, my friend does. And I got invited to one of the events over there at the restaurant. And it just happened to be Malik's birthday over there that they were celebrating. And Jason's been telling me about Malik for a while, but I never got to like connect with him when Jason was meeting up with him. So it just so happened that I was just at this event, like helping my friend with the sound system, and it would just happen to be Malik's event, and that's how I kind of met Malik. So I met Malik that night, that night at his birthday party.
Wow.
Yeah. So been trying to meet him for a long time actually, but that I had no idea it was his party that I was coming to help out with the sound system. So that's that's how that happened. So
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah,
And that shows how the universe works because that's so I met you the same day that you met Malik. That is pretty awesome.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you definitely have to come in the Bad Kids Camp one time and just hang out and see what we do for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited to really connect with everybody. So be awesome.
Definitely, definitely. So what's next for your career? Are you working on an album for yourself or what's going on?
Right now, I took like a little break for a while after I moved and after I kind of transitioned from singing lead permanently full time. Um, and I transitioned for a while, and now I'm actually back at it. So I'm just writing. So I'm just writing music. I'm writing for myself. I'm writing for other people. Um, I'm also writing for some potential movie projects, some potential TV projects. So right now, it's just like I'm just laser focused on writing as many great songs as I can, so that I can get them placed, um, where they need to be, wherever their home is gonna be. So I'm just like, let's get in the bag. Let's write some great music, and then throw some darts and see what sticks. So that's really my focus right now. I don't have any solidified plans on releasing anything, or right now it's just about getting in the studio and writing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you mind giving a quick sample of your amazing voice for our audience?
Oh, sure. I didn't plan on it, but let's see. What can I sing? I love you forevermore, more than you can account for. And I've given you the most love that one could ever give. And that's not even half of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, AI can't do that. Just so we're clear. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. I'm super excited for everything that you have coming up. So, what is one piece of advice that you can give to up and coming artists?
Oh man. One piece of advice I can give to up and coming artists is to just be persistent. Um, just always work on your craft. Like always be true to yourself. Always be real. Always believe. That's a big one. Believe in yourself, um, and be realistic about your goals and your dreams, and have a vision. Because if one thing that's really really important is if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will. And you have to have that confidence within yourself and that belief system within yourself to make others latch on to what it is you're trying to do and where you're trying to take your dreams and your visions. So if you don't have that down, then you're kind of like cutting yourself short, because nobody else is going to follow you if you're not leading them to where you're going. So definitely believe in yourself, and whatever it takes to get your belief stronger. Maybe you don't believe that strongly in yourself. I've been there before, where you always have that thing in your mind, like, oh, believe in yourself, but then you get discouraged, and then it's like, man, you start doubting yourself. It's like, man, am I good enough? Am I is this for me? Should I be trying to do something else? And it's like, that's the moments where you go in and you really assess and really work on what it is you need to strengthen, so that you can build that belief muscle back up, or build that belief muscle stronger. So that's one thing I would say to up and coming artists. Um, just don't give up. You know, Never give up. Just keep being persistent. I mean, that's really all I can say, because I've been that's what I've been doing from the beginning. I've haven't always had success. I've had a lot of people say this, but yeah, I've had way more no's than yeses. My career has blossomed a lot later than others, you know, but I always kept believing, I always kept staying focused on what I'm doing and my goals. And the more you keep building at it and every day, the stronger it's going to get, the bigger it's going to get. You know, you're putting a little effort in every day, it's going to get bigger. It's just like practicing an instrument. You know, it's like you don't put the time in, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you put the time in, you put the effort in, you're going to get better. You're going to get better and better. And then you're going to believe and believe and believe even more a month from now, a year from now, you know? So that's my advice I would give.
Absolutely.
And learn the business too. That's another big one.
Man, please learn the business.
Yeah, don't let everybody.
Please.
I've been there too, taking advantage of, not knowing a lot of different things with contracts and the business, and kind of getting screwed over or getting trapped and stuck in some situations. It definitely pays to learn and study. Like we have the internet. There's no reason we can't look up something, or got a contract in front of us, can't look up a word and, you know, figure out what this means and that means. Like definitely learn, be an open book.
Absolutely. So when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
When it's all said and done, I just want people to just remember my legacy as someone who's just created meaningful music. Um, One who's created something that um, helps people get through whatever it is that they're going through. You know, like I love doing all types of music, but I really love connecting. I really love making like writing ballads and or songs that have meaning, songs that get people through things, get people through struggles, get through people through relationships, make people think a different way. So I would like to be remembered for that, and um, and just getting through tough times, get through happy times. You know, like when we perform, uh, we do like we have like different sets. You know, we have like a 30-minute set, 45-minute set, hour set, and it's like they're all the same. You know, for the most part, and we travel the world, do the same set, same set, and sometimes you get out, you get there, and you don't feel like really performing that day, or you're sick or you're down. But I tell you, every time we step on stage, it's like a burst, like a rush. Like we always say, man, we're here to make somebody happy. Let's go make somebody happy today. So it becomes less about us at that moment and more about who we're performing for. And it's like, I look at it like a hospital. It's like, you know, everybody out in the audience, they're all there for different reasons, but they're there to see us perform and make them forget about whatever it is that they just went through. You know, they lost someone, they might have lost a child, they lost a family member, they got divorced, you know, um, anything, you know, or they're celebrating. They're celebrating a birthday, or they're celebrating life, or you know, it's whatever it is. They're there all for different reasons, and we're there to just make them happy. So that's what I want to leave behind. Like, yo, I made people happy, or I got people through rough time. Like they can look it back and see and listen to the music and always have it forever, whether I'm here or whether I'm gone. They'll always be able to push play and hear me one day and and remember the time that I got them through.
Definitely. So what's on your playlist?
Oh, on my playlist, you know what? Um, I usually don't have a lot on my playlist. I'm usually just trying to create music of my own. But I did recently put something on my playlist, which is Robert Glasper, his latest project, and I'm loving that right now. I'm just listening to that. I'm actually coming up with. I'm working with some people in the television world who put me on to this latest album because they wanted to create some things that were similar in feel to one of the records. So I've been listening to a lot of the other records um, in the meantime, and so that's actually on my playlist right now.
That's what's up. So go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you,
Hmm.
book you, and follow you.
Yeah, so Walt Anderson Music, that's pretty much everything. So at Instagram, it's Walt Anderson Music. Um, Facebook, same thing. Website, same thing. WaltAndersonMusic.com. You can literally actually go there and just find all the other ones. They'll connect you to everything. So WaltAndersonMusic.com, and you'll find everything from there. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's it.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I can't wait to see more from you and hear your music in movies, television, and all over the world.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank
I
you, sweetheart.
appreciate
Take
you
care.
having me.